Ever wonder what's really going on when we cook?
We delve into the history
And understand the science of food.
so your cooking will become something special.
In this country, we spend so much time eulogising about other nations' produce. But when it comes to seafood, we've got the best in the world. Look at this shellfish here, it's fantastic. And it features on all the best menus, but with just a little bit of know-how, you can stick it on your dinner table as well. There are some dishes that are as fun to make as they are to eat. Moule marinière is one of them. Now, most shellfish can be split into two groups, crustacea or mollusks. Now, these mussels are mollusks. They live in a little hinged shell, and what they've got in there is their own little ecosystem. So that's their means of survival, and inside that, the mussel lives using amino acids to balance the salt content of the water. That's what those boys are there. Now, very, very simple dish, very quick to make. You have to have everything ready, and it all goes in that pan and into that bowl within 5 minutes. All right, so we're going to turn the heat up really high. We're going to throw the mussels in, a good bit of sizzle. Going to add some white wine. Straight away, we're getting steam. It's the steam that's opening those shells up, OK? I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to give it a little shake around. I'm just going to let it sit there and let those shells start to open. Right, lid off. All these mussels are really fresh. They've all been ready to go. They're all alive when they went in that pan. However, if you find a mussel like this, before you cook it, give it a tap on the side of the pan. If it closes back up, it's alive. In you go, it's no problem at all. If it stays open, then the mussel's stopped working and it's not holding the shell back, it's dead, so get rid of it. We're going to add to it some hot stock. Now, this is a chicken stock. The reason I'm using a chicken stock rather than the more obvious fish stock is that I think the very subtle meatiness of the chicken stock allows the really delicate flavour of the mussels to come through, as opposed to a fish stock, because I think when you add fish stock, what you're tasting is fish rather than mussels. So that's what we do there. Right, next thing that needs is some cream. Now, you don't have to add cream to moule marinière. A lot of people serve it just as a stock, but I actually like the creaminess of it. I think it goes really well with that mussel flavour. So I'm just going to work that in. Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. That beautiful mussely flavour. It's absolutely lovely.
This flavour comes from a mixture of amino acids. When cooked, some of these amino acids are broken down and give off a distinct aroma, which intensifies the taste.
Some parsley, sprinkle it in, shallots and garlic. Again, optional extras, but I think they all work really well with those flavours. And mix those all in. That is good. Right, bowl. And we'll serve these up. Now, you need plenty of them, because mussels, there's nothing much to them. I mean, it's mainly shell, so make sure that you serve a nice big pile of mussels. Beautiful. Now, the most important part of this dish, I think, is the stock, the sauce that you've created in the dish. It's really important that you serve that all over the top. There we go. And that is moule marinière. A French name, but they're British mussels. You're going to need some bread with that.
Globally, we eat 23.5 million tonnes of shellfish a year. Lobster roam ocean floors all over the world and are still caught in the traditional way in lobster pots. In the US, they like them served simply, steamed and dipped in melted butter. Scallops are dredged from the seabed and diver caught. In France, they're served topped with cheese and Mornay sauce as coquille Saint-Jacques au gratin. And in Britain, far and away, the most popular shellfish are prawns and shrimps. They account for a whopping 72% of the market. And Morecambe Bay potted shrimps from Cumbria are a menu classic. They've been fished in Morecambe Bay for generations.
Well, for hundreds of years, really, the shrimps have been fished. They were done originally with hand netting. And then after that, the horse and cart would come along. Anybody who had any little bit of money saved up, he would buy a horse and a cart, and he would go out fishing with a horse and cart. And that went on for years and years and years.
Nowadays, the fishermen use tractors, which trail big nets off the back. They scoop the shrimps from their burrows in the sand. And they've been potting the shrimps here since the 40s. Traditionally, the shrimps have been boiled in butter with spices until tender, packed into pots and sealed with butter. A number of firms in the area make them, and the process hasn't changed much over the years. But the exact recipe remains a mystery.
Everybody wants to know what's in our combination of spices, but that's secret. We keep that to ourselves.